Welcome back to another quick review. I am once again outside, even though I could be recording this at my setup at home. I am outside because why not? Today we are going to be talking about Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, the latest Xbox exclusive that just released. That'll be on PS5 soon, but the latest Xbox exclusive that just released, set in the world of Indiana Jones, as you can see at the title. Now, normally, right, ignore the car. Normally, right, when we talk about these Xbox exclusives, there's always normally like a caveat to them. Like there's, like the core idea is good, but the execution is off in some way. For some reason, that is a running theme with these Xbox exclusives. Love Xbox to death, but like that is a running theme. That is not the case with this game. This game, unironically, is very close to perfect. It is very, very close to perfect. It's really good, man. It's really good. I definitely, when I went into this game, knowing this game existed, right? I didn't, or at least before this game came out, I didn't think it'd be a top 5 game of the year for me. I didn't. Um, that just didn't end up being the case because, I had no plans on playing it day one, and then, the reviews started coming in. And I was like, okay, I might play it. And so the day after it came out, because I was obsessed with Marvel Rivals for a little bit, and I still am. I decided to hop in, and oh my god, I had such a fun time with it. Um, I think a lot of my thing with this game is that it just feels like Indiana Jones, right? It just oozes Indiana Jones, and what makes at least 3 of those movies lovable, right? Like this game does for Indy what the Arkham games did for Batman, right? It's one of the very few times where I could say, oh my god, I actually feel like the character. I feel like I'm the character. I'm in the game. I'm solving these puzzles all by myself. By the way, the puzzles are very, very good. They're very, very fun to solve, but also can be kind of hard, especially if you're an idiot like me. I'm stupid. I'm supposed to be a critical thinker. Yeah, I can't solve a good, decent puzzle, but I digress. Um, Even then, the puzzles are all really good. They're really, for the most part, really fun to figure out. And I think my big thing about this game that makes me love it is the character writing, or just the writing in general. There is like zero issues with this. Like, yeah, there's some things that might throw me off or leave me confused. That's just because it's, ancient mythological BS that, you know, threw me off and I didn't know about. But once you hear about that more, and once you learn about that more, then it's like, okay, I understand now. I understand what's going on. I understand what this means. Um, Otherwise, the character writing is phenomenal. Indy is exactly like Indy in the movie should be. Troy Baker, say what you want about the man, because I definitely have some opinions. Troy Baker is a phenomenal. He does a phenomenal job in the role. His voice performance is so good and so scary that I forget that it's not Harrison Ford at times. Now, that's how good Troy Baker does. As Indy. He just kind of blends into that role, and it's so good. As well as a lot of the supporting cast is really good. I would three standouts, being the other main characters in the game. Gina Lombardi. I don't know who plays her. She is a character that I was kind of mad about at first, but as the game went on, she ended up becoming my second favorite character. I love that character, love the voice performance, love her backstory, what she's doing here. It's so good. She also has a lot of chemistry with Indy, so that dynamic throughout the entire game was really fun. And then you get Voss, who, once again, I also don't know who he's played by, but Voss is just a good villain. He's just a good villain because he's evil, right? I don't need especially Nazis, right? Some villains don't need to be sympathetic. This is a really good case of that. Some villains don't need to be sympathetic because he's a Nazi. He's just really evil, and he's unashamedly evil, and I love that. And that voice performance really, really shows that. That voice performance is phenomenal. And then Locust, who's voiced by the late great Tony Todd, who also is a phenomenal voice performance in every way, shape, or form. I love it. I adore it. The last couple of things I want to talk about is graphics are really good. I imagine they're better on PC. I played on Xbox. Graphics are still really good. You get some issues here and there, but nothing that really throws you off. Another story thing, I really like how they weren't afraid to dive into like certain supernatural or things that aren't, strictly based in reality. I like how they did more of that compared to, like, some of the earlier movies, but even the earlier movies had that, but, like, they weren't afraid to dive into that, and how they weren't afraid to, keep it strictly in touch with reality. Like, a good example, the portal scene, when you're dying at the portal, or the great circle scene at the end, or even the giant snake, which I have a very bad snake phobia, so that I didn't appreciate that. But even the giant snake, I'm glad that they weren't afraid to, dive into certain aspects, rather than keeping it straight in reality. Last thing, the gameplay, right? People are gonna be mixed with this gameplay because it's first person, obviously, but I actually think that works better for this game. It works really well for this game, but people are going to be very mixed on it. As for me, I really enjoyed it. There was a bit of clunkiness in there at certain points, but for the most part, I really enjoyed the gameplay. It was relatively easy, but also at certain points provided a challenge that was really fun. Certain upgrades makes it better, makes it more fluid, makes it easier. I love the fact that you could just kind of pick up weapons and, do that, and everything like translates into Indiana Jones, like the slapstick aspect of that, of like Indiana Jones in the movies and how funny certain things could be in combat, really blends in well into this game. The best thing I could say about this game, and the biggest compliment that I could give, is that it just feels like Indiana Jones. It feels like something you will watch in a movie. It feels straight out of the movies. The good movies, mind you, not the last two. It feels something that you would see out of the good movies. And that's what I love about it. It's so maybe like some gameplay, there's some issues with gameplay, or, some other things, like giant snake aside. It is a near perfect game. It is a almost flawless game, and I love it. This game is like a 9.5 out of 10 for me. Yeah. Long story short, go play Indiana Jones at the Great Circle. Thanks for watching. See ya. Bye.